The purpose of this video is to give a quick overview of budgeting within FCAS 5.2. All of the budgeting options are contained under the budgeting menu. To begin working on your budget, the first step you want to do is click on the Prepare Budget Tables button. If this is the first time that you have begun working with this year's budget, you want to click on Clear Budget Tables for the new fiscal year. What this will do is this will clear out any previous data in the budgeting that you might have in there. If you are coming back to work on the budget later, for say 2014, you do not want to click this button, otherwise it will remove the work that you've already done this year. So when you click on the Clear Budget Tables for the new fiscal year, it's going to let you know that it's going to erase all of the data. And are you sure you want to continue? So we'll click Yes, and then it will inform you that the tables have been erased. Okay, after you've done that, you now want to click on either Appropriations or Receipts, and what that will do is that will compile the information from this current fiscal year and use that to load your budgeting tables. So if you click on Appropriations, it's going to tell you what it's doing here. Click Yes to continue. Then it's going to ask if you want to include the outstanding invoices as part of this year's claims. And what this will do is if you have invoices entered that have not yet been paid, it will go ahead and use that to calculate your budget expenditures. Otherwise, if you choose no, then it will leave those out. But we're going to say yes and give it a few seconds to do its work here. Okay, now the appropriations budget data has been loaded. And we'll go ahead and do the same thing for the receipts. This is letting you know that it's going to prepare the receipts table. Again, give it a few seconds to do its work. Okay, now it's telling us that the receipts budget data has been loaded. So we're going to click on OK, and we're going to click on Close. Okay, now we'll come back to the budget menu, and we will click on this Set Up Funds button. Okay, these are the funds that you have for the current fiscal year. And if you have any new ones that's going to be in for next fiscal year, this is where you would go ahead and add them. And you would, set it up just like you would a fund in the regular part of the program. You would give it a name and a prefix, and then once you add it, you click on Save. And what will happen by putting this in here, whenever you go to start a new fiscal year, it will go ahead and set that fund up for you automatically as part of the new fiscal year process. And then this button here will import your existing funds. Okay, so let's say that for whatever reason I decide I'm going to remove a few, save it so that they're not in there. Go ahead and close out, come back in, show you that they're not in there. Now, oops, I made a mistake, I deleted the wrong ones. Well, I can click on this button here and it will bring those back. It's basically loading what is in your current fiscal year and putting it in the budget for next year. So then I click Save and go about making any changes that I need to. Okay, now to work with your budget, choose either the appropriations or the receipts. They work the same way. We'll just go in appropriations first. These are the accounts, and you can page through them or you can look them up. These are the accounts from your current fiscal year. You can see, general fund, this is the account number, this is the description, this was your original budget, and then this will list any amendments, any transfers. This is the amount that you have spent. And back when it asked you if you wanted to include your outstanding invoices when it was preparing the budget tables, if you chose yes, then this would include checks plus invoices that you haven't already paid. And then this is the percentage that you've expended. Okay, you can go through and search for different accounts, pull them up that way. You can also filter by fund so that you only see, say, your gel fund, and that's only going to have your gel accounts in here. You can print a printout here that will show you basically that account information for all of your accounts. So it has your account number, the description, your prior year budget, your expenditures from the prior year, and then any new budget amount that you might have set. Okay, so to set the new budget amount, what you would do is you would come down here at the bottom, and you can change by either a flat amount or a percent. So let's say for this one, we're going to increase it by $1,500. So we put in $1,500 in the flat amount, click the calculate button, and the new amount shows up here in this new budget column. Then we click on save, and that's what the new budget is going to be for that account. Whenever you start your new fiscal year, it'll ask if you want to include your budget entries. If you tell it yes, then whenever it goes through and sets up the accounts, for this account, its original budget is going to be set to $9,000. Okay, so say on this account, say you want to increase it by 10%. You put 10% in here, click calculate, and there's your new budget. Click on save, and you go through to the next one. And you can check your work by clicking on that printer. And we were in the gel, and here's the two accounts that we put in the new budget amounts for. If you have an account that is not going to be part of your next year's budget, then you can delete it by clicking on this delete button here. So let's say that we're going to take out the workers' compensation amount. You just click on delete, save, and that account will not be set up in your next year when you start your new fiscal year. Okay, so if you want to add a new account for your next fiscal year, you would click on the add new button. We'll go ahead and add one to the gel, and we'll make up some account number. Give it a description. Original budget should be 0 because you don't have it set up in your current fiscal year. Then down here in the change area, say it's going to have an initial budget of $5,000. Click on your calculate, click on save, and that is how you would add a new account to your budget. And again, you can check and make sure that's here, and that was in the gel account, and should be somewhere near the end of the gel. There it is. And that is pretty much all there is to going through and setting up your budget for the next year as far as the appropriations accounts. The receipts accounts work the exact same way. It's the same screen. So everything I just said on the appropriations carries through to the receipts. So I won't bore you with that. There's an appropriations summary report here that you can run, and this lists your funds and the account categories. And of course most of these are going to have 0 because I haven't gone through and set up the new budget. But once you get started adding stuff to your new budget, then these numbers will fill in and the report will actually tell you something. Okay, once you get your budget ready to go, then you need to start sending out your public notices. Well, you can do that here. Choose your fiscal year. So say it's the 2014, 2015. Okay, and then you can choose first reading, second reading, or final. So let's say that's the first reading, and then you'd pick whatever dates. Just making something up here. And then this gives you your budget notice. And again, these numbers are 0 because I haven't really filled anything out except for in the gel fund. Okay, and then again, you can, whenever it's final, you can make your final selections. And again, I'm just picking dates here. And that gives you the final public notice that you can send out. Okay, you can also prepare your budget signature page. Here it's asking for what fiscal year you want to show up on the signature page, and you just enter that, and that will give you the signature page that you can attach to the front of your budget. Okay, you can also enter your pre-approved expenses budget, and to do that, it's just a matter of click on Add, pick the account number and the description for what's pre-approved. Save it. And that will let you track your pre-approved expenses. Okay, so now say that you've started work on your budget tables, and while you're doing that, other work goes on. You're writing more checks, you're receiving more receipts, and you would like to get these numbers in here updated, the expended amounts or the received amounts on the receipt side, so that you can get a better feel for the budgeting. What you would do there is you would come back under the Prepare Budget Tables. Do not click this bottom button here, because if you do that, that will wipe out all of your work. Instead, click the buttons up here up top, the appropriations or the receipts, and what that will do is that will go back through and calculate what you've already spent, what you've already received, and update those numbers in your budget tables. And you can run that as many times as you want to, and it will go back through and redo the calculations. But whatever you do, once you start working on your budget, unless you plan on starting completely over, do not click that bottom button to clear the budget tables. Okay, looks like we've gone over everything in the budget menu. If you have any questions, be sure to contact either Kathy or me, and we will be happy to answer them for you. Thank you for your time.